hat hier so ein kleines Leben und man probiert da irgendwie so durchzukommen. Wenn man sich über die Kräfte und die Energie da draußen im Weltall Gedanken macht, dann rückt das vieles zurecht. Die Dimension, auf der da Energie stattfindet, ist halt einfach so groß und eigentlich so schwer zu fassen. Das verschiebt die Skala von allen Dingen. Wir alle sind halt sehr daran gewöhnt, Energie einfach so zu benutzen. Und keiner mag Einschnitte hinnehmen. Und man reflektiert halt sehr wenig, weil Energie einfach für die meisten Menschen als gegeben hingenommen wird. Wir sind mitten im Regenwald und bis letztes Jahr gab es hier zu diesem Dorf gar keine richtige Straße. Bei Regen konnte man quasi gar nicht hin und zurück. Und das ist halt ein Dorf mit 800 Einwohnern, die halt zum großen Teil einfach immer noch vom Urwald leben. Das ist tatsächlich absurd, weil hier ist Strom ganz nah am Dorf dran und es wird nicht verteilt bis zu den Haushalten. Das ist halt nachvollziehbar, dass sie nach einer Alternative suchen und das ist halt ein Stromgenerator, der mit Benzin oder Diesel angetrieben wird. Ne?
They were promised energy from a long time ago, and they were actually given electricity through the form of each house having its own individual solar panel system.
So it was installed in the first place?
It was installed as part of a nationwide exercise throughout villages similar to this throughout the country. When the systems were set up, the people of the village, not only did they buy light bulbs and phone chargers, they bought television sets, blenders.
All right, they put
fans.
everything on it.
Yeah, I think, if you do not educate the people on how to use the system properly, if you buy an electric kettle, bro, and you try to charge, hot water using a solar panel, it's not the right way.
They don't have a really good understanding of how much energy is stored in the battery and which devices you should power and which you shouldn't, buddy.
Yes, that's right. Ada siapa-siapa di sini ada soalan? Kalau nak tanya, jangan malu-malu. So, apa charge controller ni akan buat, dia akan pastikan siapa boleh jawab, I bagi gula-gula lepas. Betul? Tapi kita nak ambil cahaya matahari waktu siang, simpankan ke dalam bateri supaya boleh digunakan waktu malam. Solar panel ni, what can it power this? 10 watts?
Ni boleh charge your telefon.
Satu tali cukup untuk satu telefon. Bila direct pasang, maksud dia
So Sekarang sistem ada.
I think we're going to see if she learned what
Okay, so perkara pertama
we
yang
taught
kita
at the
akan
workshop,
buat,
and just to
kita
see
akan
if she can
tengok
go through the
apa
steps
voltage.
and whether she does
To
it
see
right.
where the failure is.
Okay.
Their system was okay for 10 years.
Okay.
And the past 4 years,
That just was working.
just stopped working.
Okay.
Let's see if we get some good readings on the battery, then... So, let's have a look at the
Go on,
inverter.
let's go on. Yes.
Oh, so that means your batteries are really good.
Okay. Satu pegang. Betul. Macam tu.
Nobody knows how to fix this here. Is it because it's too complicated or too expensive to get the parts, or what's missing?
Okay. So dia nak tahu mengapa orang sini tak tahu? Adakah sebab benda ni susah sangat ke? Adakah sebab dia mahal sangat ke? Kenapa orang tak tahu? Apa yang susah? Apa kesusahan untuk tahu?
Susah lah, takut nanti kena dia punya elektrik tu takut lah, takut nak sentuh.
Oh, takut nak sentuh. You don't want to touch it, yeah. Correct.
Nanti rambut pecah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Sibu. So, oh yo, betul. When we first started doing our work, people laughed. They say, "Why are you doing charity?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
business is about making money.
Yeah.
Why are you wasting your time?
Yeah.
What are you doing fixing solar panels in Orang Asli villages? You know, in the grand scheme of things, we don't really make that much impact just directly from doing that work itself. However, the snowballing comes when more and more people take this up. And that's BGBG's story. We want to be the little thing. And this little thing is the one that we want to help make the big things work. And we hope when people see us doing this, they get inspired too to try this out themselves.
Es ist halt unglaublich, wie wenig Energie sie verbrauchen. Also es ist halt total krass, mit wie wenig Energie sie klarkommen. Und dass keine Energie oder eine Kerze oder ein Solarpanel, was echt nicht groß ist, reicht, um ein gutes Leben zu leben nach deren Maßstäben. Und vielleicht sollten wir halt da hingucken und sagen so, ja, vielleicht ist es ein tolles Beispiel und das mal auf uns anwenden. Wenn man sich Malaysia hier anguckt, dann ist irgendwie zu 90% fossile Energieträger. Kohle, Gas. Und natürlich kann ein Land auch größtenteils erstmal nur das machen, was irgendwie an Ressourcen da ist in dem Land. Aber das ist ehrlich gesagt nur die Hälfte, weil auch ein Land wie Malaysia, zum Beispiel mit der Sonneneinstrahlung, die man hier hat, könnte einen ganz anderen Pfad beschreiten. Aber wenn ich den größten Profit mache darüber, dass ich fossile Energieträger verbrenne, ja gut, dann wird es halt auch weitergehen. Das ist relativ logisch. Yeah, like see all the pipes over there.
All with split unit air conditioning systems everywhere. Just for one building like this, then this is so much. We are using so much energy and freon, which is why I'm into this. Yeah, this is such a motivation on me when I see all this. So this is what we call a heat recovery hybrid. The heat is actually being recovered from the condensing unit or the exhaust, the exhaust side.
Yeah.
So with this, it helps to create a very energy efficient air conditioning system. So when we compare, the actual energy consumption is like half of the normal aircon.
Oh, that's incredible. So you buy something which is already existing and then you put in your technology?
Yes, that's right. Okay, I come from the software engineering background. In the world of IT, there is no limits. The only limit is only money. You know, when you are in a virtual world, you just do. When I started this business, the engineers tell me, this is impossible, what you're trying to do. But when we managed to get that savings on that first, actually it was until night, we were working until night.
Yeah.
And then when we look at the ampere meter, when we look at that, and then we test the temperature in the room,
Yes.
we got the temperature, we got the pressure, we got
Nice.
no, this is it. That was it. That was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, probably you will never forget that evening, right?
Oh, never forget that evening.
So what's the secret? What do you change? What's the secret sauce in here?
Okay, yes, obviously there is a secret. But I won't talk about it.
Good.
I find a lot of challenges in trying to build my business. The market, the business scenario is very much geared towards, a patronage type business. In other words, a business of favors.
Yeah.
You know, you do favors, you
To
get
others,
this. Yeah, favors to certain influential powers that be, and you will have a much more better position for your business. And this is the difficult part because as an entrepreneur, and I'm more on the technology side. I like to focus more on the ideas, innovation, creation, creating things, and knowledge, skills. But these things, all these people who ask for deals and all that, because I'm a startup and an entrepreneur, I don't have money. And I want to bring a new kind of business.
One thing I do know, that if you use energy without concern, the environment will be affected. When the environment is affected, the climate will be affected. When the climate is affected, the whole Earth can be affected because of the change of temperature and everything. And this is a serious matter.
Mr. Kam is my customer,
Yes.
and he is the owner of this resort, eco resort. Yeah.
As a policy, we decided that we should go green
Yes.
because we want to minimize the usage of unnecessary usage of energy.
Yes.
And we do not want to use any air conditioning.
Yes.
That was our first initial agreement in the company.
Yes.
But last year, for about 4 months, there's no rain here. 4 months.
Wow.
Everything is dry. I have got no choice. Because people come and visit here,
Yeah.
they find that it's too hot. But we still need to survive. So the only thing is we settle for something which is not 100% aircon energy that much, but at the same time save energy and enough to keep people happy. So that's how we look around for all these things. And then you come along. That's how we start off.
Oh, wow. I see.
This is the kind of customer that I imagine. One who is aware of the environment, who is sensitive about the climate changes, the environment issues, and when he contacted us, it's just like an absolutely wonderful opportunity.
Yes, it is. I mean, having then the first customer makes it simpler for the next customers because they can just follow, right? There's one who did it already, and you can point to these guys, and here is the case study, and that's what we have been doing, and this is why he actually, with his philosophy, actually brought this, and then other people can follow, because I think in itself it's a good thing, and other people like want this too. And I think what's great about the product is, like now, that you have iterated it and simplified it and make it more compact, it is actually something most of the people can afford, or actually pays off after a short time.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Ich glaube, da anzusetzen ist halt etwas sehr Schlaues, weil ich keine Abhängigkeiten habe. Also wenn ich eine Maschine baue, die einfach irgendwie 50% weniger Energie verbraucht, dann tausche ich die Maschinen durch und ab dann ist es so. Da brauche ich nicht auf den Netzausbau warten oder auf irgendwelche anderen Regularien. Das verändere ich und dann ist es sofort gut. Und generell ist es natürlich viel besser, wenn ein Kraftwerk gar nicht erst gebaut werden muss, weil ich es gar nicht erst brauche. Und ich glaube, wenn man das noch kombiniert mit den Prognosen, was bis 2050 10 Milliarden Menschen auf der Welt leben, ist halt ganz klar, dass, glaube ich, Energiesparen genauso wichtig ist wie der Umbau auf regenerative Energien. Also Effektivität ist einfach was, worauf wir, glaube ich, zukünftig viel mehr achten müssen. Sonst werden wir das gar nicht stemmen können. Energie ist das, was man aufwenden muss, um aus Möglichkeiten Realität werden zu lassen. Aristoteles nannte es Energia in seiner Sprache und daraus ist später Energie geworden. Und ehrlich gesagt ist da eine Parallele zu Startups oder eine Firma bauen. Man hat halt eine Idee, also etwas, was sein kann in der Zukunft, und man muss Arbeit aufwenden, um sie Wirklichkeit werden zu lassen. Und wenn man Arbeit mit Energie gleichsetzt, dann stimmt das, finde ich, auch heute. Also man muss sehr viel Energie in etwas reinstecken, damit es werden kann, also wachsen kann. Immer geht es um, finde ich, die Möglichkeit, etwas zu verändern, etwas zu machen, etwas zu verwandeln.
All that energy came from one single point, once upon a time.
It has to have a reason why we can afford to lose so much energy.
Because fossil fuels are cheap.
Because we don't see the consequence in our lifetime. That's why we don't give a...
We don't see the externalities. There's no, like when you burn fossil fuels, you don't see the environmental damage that's happening. You don't see the ice caps melting. You don't see all the others, the whole...
Yeah. The fact is, you can't see right away. It's hard to bring these things into connection, right?
It's easy to overlook that, right? Because it comes for free in a way. You pay your bills in the end of the week and that's it. And if you can afford 100 ringgit or 200 ringgit, then you don't really care.
Yeah.
But how much matter actually went to creating that energy is very far removed from us. We don't really see where it comes from. We came up with a concept of an energy playground to push Malaysia towards the renewable energy field. We have teams working in education.
You did this.
Homemade.
Homemade, oh, self-made juice.
We have teams working in technology, teams working in fabrication over here in the factory. We have teams doing sustainable fashion, making sexy products from waste materials. We believe 120% in this energy playground, and this is what we want to do. Yet sometimes, we just have to get distracted with other jobs, and because we got to pay the bills. Yeah,
sure.
It's the bottom line every month also matters.
Yeah.
If we had cash flow and liquidity, we would give our whole team's energy into just realizing renewable energy in Malaysia and teaching the youth how they too can get involved and do this.
That's all you got, bro. That's all you got. Come on. Yeah. Come on.
How energy is being produced in Malaysia right now is like, I learned that like 90% is based on fuel and gas and burning coal, right? So if energy is a battlefield and it's completely controlled by the big corporation, they're huge and kind of have a huge market share.
Correct.
How do you see yourself as such a tiny, small organization? And it's like, how does it work?
All right. So, since energy is a big players game, we're going to let the big players be big players and do what big players do, right? That's not our problem. We're here for the little guys. We're here for all the others like us, all the youths of today. We know that we want to make a difference. And when we try to make a difference, we struggled because of these big players. When we wanted to build a bicycle generator, when we wanted to access engineering facilities in the country, when we wanted to penetrate university students to be able to get them on board, it was a huge struggle and it was not easy. So we're going to set it up right so that the other people who come after us, the youths of tomorrow, they're going to be able to use BGBG space, and there are going to be BGBG workshops all over the country. Just pop in, go there, hang out with like-minded people, be able to speak to passionate seniors who can help you and advise you on how you can improve your design. And then the big players become irrelevant. The energy companies, they can keep doing what they do until the time comes when there is a huge enough traction that they want to adopt the technologies that they have, and they have to look to us for the answers.
Es ist nicht eben einfach umstellen, sondern es ist halt eine ganze Industrie umbauen, eine sehr große Industrie umbauen. Und ich glaube, dass halt sehr viele Leute im Moment davon profitieren, wie die Welt heute aufgebaut ist. Und die haben Interesse daran, dass es nicht verändert und sich nicht verschiebt. Und Leute halten fest an der Situation, wo sie sind, und die werden sich festkrallen. Diese Art des Problems ist halt weltweit. Und kann halt auch eigentlich nur gelöst werden, wenn man weltweit daran zusammenarbeitet und sagt so, ja, okay, das Verhalten, was wir jetzt haben, ist nicht das Richtige. Wir müssen eigentlich uns überlegen, wie wir uns verändern wollen. Es gibt verschiedene Ideen, wie man in Zukunft Energie erzeugen kann. Eine große ist halt, das Sonnenfeuer auf der Erde zu haben, also Kernfusion. Also genau im Gegensatz zu Atomkernspaltung einfach eine sehr saubere Energie. Und das ist etwas, wo viele Menschen, glaube ich, immer wieder denken, oder viele Wissenschaftler, dass man denkt so, ja cool, das wäre super, wenn wir das hätten. Und man eigentlich immer denkt, ja in 30 Jahren oder so müssen wir es hinkriegen. Und das ist aber schon irgendwie, das denkt man 50 Jahre lang. Das ist eben eins von diesen Themen, die sehr, sehr komplex sind. Und natürlich hat alles irgendwo noch einen Haken, aber wir brauchen Ideen. Wir brauchen Energie, um das Leben zu bauen, was wir leben. So. Und es gibt ja auch Alternativen, die sind gut und die funktionieren. Ne? Und das ist super. Und warum können wir da nicht so schnell hin wie möglich? So, warum verhaften wir in einer Zeit, wo das Alte immer schön geredet wird und man nicht sieht, welche Effekte es hat? Das verstehe ich nicht.